Getting smashed sucks. Is there any worse feeling in jiu-jitsu? Getting submitted over and over doesn't necessarily feel great either, but it's not really getting smashed. It's just losing the round. Getting smashed means that your opponent has all their weight on you, pinning you to the mat. I'm going to teach you how to not get smashed, and we'll look specifically at half guard, because that's where most smashing happens or starts. As other guards position the guard passer further away from you, and you're not in as much risk of being smashed quite yet. But before we start, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Elements. If you're anything like me, then you want to train jiu-jitsu as often as possible, but this often takes a toll on my body as I become fatigued and riddled with muscle cramps. One of the reasons that this happens is because of the loss of electrolytes through sweat, the primary of which being sodium. And when sodium isn't adequately replaced, that's when we experience those muscle cramps and fatigue, which is why I started drinking Elements. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with a science-backed electrolyte ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. It contains no sugar, no coloring, and no artificial ingredients, none of that junk. In short, Element can help prevent and eliminate muscle cramps and fatigue, but also sleeplessness, headaches, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. And right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/JordanTeaches. And for a limited time, Element is offering a chocolate medley that features chocolate mint, chocolate chai, and chocolate raspberry, which are designed to be enjoyed hot. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinkelement.com/JordanTeaches. First, we need to go over terminology to avoid confusion. From the bottom player's perspective, this is the far side of the top player. This is the near side of the top player. From the top player's perspective, this is the far side of the bottom player, and this is the near side of the bottom player. Okay, now we can get into it. For your opponent to smash you, they need grips on you, to pin your back to the mat and immobilize you. They either need to take an underhook, control of your head, or both. When it comes to underhooks, they can either take a far side underhook, a near side underhook, a body lock, which is both the near side underhook and the far side underhook, or they need a reverse underhook. These are grips which you need to prevent being taken on you to not get smashed. And to do so, you need to close off access to them or block access to them. Let's start with prevention of head control. You need to use your T-Rex arms. A T-Rex keeps their elbows tight to their body, and so should you. T-Rex arms enable you to keep your elbows tight to close space for underhooks and control your opponent's far side arm to block off access to the crossface. You can never let someone grab your head, especially the crossface, as it'll pin you down on your back and immobilize you. You need to fight tooth and nail to stop your opponent's far side arm from grabbing your head. If your opponent starts to get past your T-Rex arms and you're at risk of the crossface, you need to be disciplined to circle back in your arm to reestablish your T-Rex arms. T-Rex arms are great and important, but they're not the only way to control the far side arm. You can also control the wrist. This is typically used to set up Kimuras in the Kimura trap. But you can also use it to set up sweeps and other submissions. When you deny the crossface, they may also look to reach over your head and underneath your chin for a guillotine, in which case you need to transition to block off access underneath your chin, using one of your hands or both. Although the guillotine isn't necessarily smashing you, it's not great either, and something to be aware of. They can use their near side arm to grab your head, but that can actually be good for you, as it provides you with an underhook and their back. Alright, so far side arm underneath your head is covered, far side arm over your head is covered, the near side arm underneath your head is covered. These are the grips that they can take with their arms on your head, but they can also control your head using their head by either positioning their head on you or on the mat beside you. This is just like a crossface. It pins you down. So how do you prevent this? Keep it away from you, push on it, frame on it. Don't let it get close.
I can't let you get close.
When you see it approaching, priority is to get it away. Maybe counter with a go-go plata, but don't break your knees in the process. Alright, so the head is covered. Now we can look at underhooks. Again, there's far side, near side, and reverse underhooks. Let's start with the far side underhook as it's the most common. Just keep your elbows tight to your body. That's really it. Don't open your elbow and invite the underhook unless you plan to use their underhook against them. It's okay to give your opponent an underhook if you prevent control of your head. In all these clips, I give my buddy Kieran the underhook, but it's fine because I'm preventing control of my head. Because he doesn't have control of my head, I can use my overhook as an offensive grip and my control of his far side arm to sweep and submit him. Now let's look at the near side underhook. Again, just keep your elbow tight and don't lift your body up off the mat for your opponent to secure a body lock. Letting someone have a near side underhook is never a good idea, so just don't do it. There's really not much else to be said. Reverse underhooks. A reverse underhook is exactly how it sounds. It's an underhook but kind of upside down. For your opponent to be effective with it, they need to be heavy and deep on your armpit. So naturally, this is what you need to prevent. Your opponent attempting a reverse underhook can be a good thing because as long as you don't let them get deep with it, you can use it against them by taking your own reverse underhook, and you can use it to sweep and take backs. As soon as they turn their body to take the reverse underhook, get on your elbow and take a reverse underhook for yourself. We've looked at grips, but now let's look at frames. A knee shield is a frame. You use it to keep distance between you and the guard passer. They first must clear the knee shield before they can start smashing because it's in the way of them getting chest to chest and taking grips. But what most don't realize is that the inside leg can and should be thought of as a knee shield as well. Look how in the smashed half guard, the top player's knee is positioned in front of my inside knee. He has inside position on my knee as he's past my frames. That's the guard passer's objective when passing half guard, to get in front of that inside knee. If they do so with their inside leg, then they've passed the guard. And if they do so with their outside leg, then it's easier to get closer to smash. You can use that inside leg as a frame to keep the distance just like you would your knee shield. And you can pull it out completely to attack submissions such as omoplatas and triangles. Okay, quick recap. Deny grips, which we looked at earlier, and use frames to maintain the distance. Now let's look at what to do if you have no frames and your opponent has grips on you, meaning that you're smashed. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be easy. What you need to do is tap. I'm just kidding. What you need to do is off balance them to either give them a reason to let go or create space for you to bring your inside knee back in front. Now their far side arm is no longer a far side arm. Now it's either more neutral or even becomes their near side arm. One thing to note is that it's normal to feel claustrophobic at times. It's okay to tap if you need to. Don't listen to those guys that think they're warriors because they roll around in pajamas a couple times per week. It can take time to build mental toughness. As a lower belt, I've tapped when I started to feel claustrophobic, but I don't now. So definitely try not to, but don't be too hard on yourself if you do. Make sure to pick up my Jiu-Jitsu theory course to learn even more about Jiu-Jitsu. And as always, thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.